So please confirm. So regarding audio clarity and the visibility on the screen, I was discussing nominal attributes. We understood what is a nominal attribute in a decision tree. Okay. So decision tree will have different attributes as nodes. So depending on how the branches are being generated from that particular node, so we will assign different names for the attributes. So if a node is having two branches, okay, we call it as a binary attribute. We call that node as a binary attribute node. So if a node is taking you across multiple branches, that node will be called as a nominal node, nominal attribute. Here node is nothing but attribute. Okay. We also saw that few branches can be combined. Okay, we have we have the provision of doing it. We saw that single and divorcee were combined, okay, into one single branch. Okay. So this was the second one, the nominal. You understood when you can call a node as a nominal node or a nominal attribute. So third one is ordinal. The same question. There is a node introduced in the decision tree. Now you need to identify what type of node it is, whether it's binary, whether it's nominal, whether it's ordinal. So already you had seen these terms. It's not a new term for you. Okay, when we were studying different types of variables, we have already seen this. So what is ordinal? So name itself is having an indicator. Ordinal means there is an order. Okay. So the thing is a node with a multi-way split. Okay. For example, consider this node multi-way split, meaning that you can have more than two branches. 1, 2, 3, 4. But there is one specific constraint here. What is it? It should preserve the order property. Ordering should be there with the attribute values. Okay. So when you are moving from left of the tree to the right, from the left side to the right of the tree, this is my left to the right. Okay. So ordering should be there in the branch, in that specific branch. So if you are not understood, we'll take an example. So this was my node, shared size. Okay. So this is the ordering: small, medium, large, extra large. So you are aware the ordering. This is a specific ordering starting from the lowest to the highest. Okay. So please note the branches have been ordered accordingly. So if you see my examples here, so you can see you see the first case. This is the first case. In the first case, you can see the left of the branch is starting with small, then it is going with medium, then towards the right side we have large and extra large. Okay. Now the question here is, do you find ordering in the attribute values? Yes, there is ordering. Then we can categorize this node as an ordinal attribute. Okay. So once again, I'm repeating a node with a multi-way split, meaning that multiple branches, okay, multiple split, but the values, attribute values, okay, have order. It follows the order. Then you can declare that attribute to be an ordinal attribute. Okay. That was the third type. Now coming to the fourth type, continuous. Okay. So what is continuous? So continuous will have a very wide range. That's it. So in these cases, you saw previous cases, the range was very small. For example, shirt size. There is a range, fine, but it's very small. Small to extra large. The range is small. Even here in marital status, you saw there is a range. Single, married, divorcee, but it's a very small range. Okay. And this binary example also, you saw the range is limited only to two values. Okay. But you come to continuous and the range will be very large. Okay. We had discussed this, if you remember, in module 2. Okay. Now, can you give me a few examples which can be a continuous attribute? So already had explained salary of an employee. So it can start from 1 rupee and it can even go up to 1 crore. Okay, so salary can be a continuous attribute because you are seeing a range of values there. So in this we have two types, subtypes. In continuous attribute we have two subtypes. So what are the two subtypes? So binary continuous. Okay. So if you create only two branches from the continuous attribute, so it is binary continuous. For example, I'll just give you some examples to avoid confusion. For example, consider the salary of the employee was starting from 1 to 3 rupees to okay some 1 lakh rupee. Okay, this was the salary of the employee. So starting from 1 rupee to 1 lakh rupee. Okay. Now I have decided from this data I'll create only two classes. Okay, only two branches. One is all the employees from the range 1 rupee to 80,000. Okay, they will take left branch. All the employees with salary greater than 80k but less than 1 lakh, they will go towards the right branch. So please note, for a continuous attribute or for a continuous data, okay, in my example, it was the salary of the employee starting from 1 rupee to 1 lakh. It was a continuous data. So now the salary is the continuous attribute. Here I will use the term annual income. So you can consider both as same. So for a continuous attribute, if you create two splits, okay, so that will be called as binary continuous. Binary continuous. Once again, I'm repeating. This salary example starting from 1 rupee to 1 lakh was a continuous attribute. Okay. So from in this data set, I have created two splits. Okay. So salary with, employees with salary which is less than 80k will go towards the left side, greater than 80k maybe they'll go towards the right side. Two splits I have created. So it is binary continuous. Now if you create multiple splits for a continuous data, okay, then it is range query. Okay. For the same example, you take the same example. Please see, for the salary, have created multiple splits. Okay. Employees with salary less than 10k, okay, they will go to this part of this branch. Okay. Employees with salary between 10 and 25k. So please see, we have combined here. Okay, they are going to this specific branch. Employees with salary 25 to 50k, they are going to this branch. Okay. So please note here what we have done. So a continuous data set, a continuous attribute, okay, has been defined as a range in different ranges. Okay. So less than 10k was one range, 10 to 25 was one more range. Okay. So if you split a continuous attribute, okay, in these aspects, it will be called as a range query attribute. Range query attribute. So once again, I'll summarize. So continuous attributes has a very wide range of values. Even temperature measurement, okay, it's a continuous attribute. We had seen that in one specific example. So if you take this continuous attribute and create two branches, okay, it is binary continuous. If you take this continuous attributes and create a multi-way split, multiple branches, it is a range query. That's it. So this was the story of continuous attribute. Okay, now continuing. Oh, that's it. Okay. So these are the four types of attributes that will be utilized in a decision tree. Okay. So depending on how the branches are being taken, so you can associate a name to the attribute. Okay. So please go through all these contents and join me in tomorrow's session. So we will see few more aspects of decision tree and we'll start with solving the problems. So starting from the next topic. So already I told you among the available attributes, you need to decide which attribute should become the root node. for which you need to compute the information gained. Okay, so we'll explore it through problems. We'll directly go to problems, and in the problem itself, I'll explain you the theoretical concepts. So I will not have a separate session for explaining theory and problem. So I'll combine both for better understanding. That's it. Okay. Not to skip the explanation, just for better understanding. So once again, if you are clear with today's session, please give me confirmation, and we will conclude the session with your confirmation. So please confirm whether you understood whatever was explained. So in this session, we explored decision tree. Once again, repetition was done. We took up Hunt's algorithm. We saw that there was nothing new in the Hunt's algorithm. All the definitions, terminologies, steps, procedures that you had seen in the previous cases, the same was organized in a more formal way. That's it. That was your Hunt's algorithm. Next, we took up the different attribute types in a decision tree. So depending on how the branches are being created from a node, so we assigned different names for the attributes. If only two branches from an attribute, we called it as a binary attribute. Okay, so multiple branches, multi-way split. So like that. Okay, so hope you have understood this. I believe things are clear. So with this, we will leave the session. We will disconnect and we will join back tomorrow for further enhancing our understanding for in terms of decision. Okay. Okay, please disconnect.